Jeff, great start for you today. Second win in a row for you. You made the transition from the bullpen to a weekend starter a few weeks ago. What has that transition been like for you? What's the different mentality on the mound?
Yeah, I really wouldn't say it's a different mentality in all honesty. At the end of the day, it's about winning and competing my tail off to allow us to put us in a position to win a game. So for us, every time I go out there, I don't know how long I'm going to be out there. It could be 3-4 innings, and then they unleash the bullpen. But if I go out there, it's every single inning I'm just trying to put up zeros to allow our offense to score runs.
Are you throwing as many fastballs, or are you mixing in others and fastballs in the starter more than you did coming out of the bullpen when you probably could just cut it loose?
Yeah, I would say I'm probably throwing a little bit more fastballs. I would say that I'm using more selective of my off-speed pitches. I'm using my slider and my changeup as much. I used sliders a lot today against right-handers, which if you look against Virginia, I didn't use sliders very much. So that all goes into game planning. But at the end of the day, my fastball velo may not be as high as it used to be, but I'm just trying to compete. If I can locate it very well in the top of the zone and use my off-speed pitches off of that, then I'll be very competitive.
Max, how good does it feel for y'all to have clinched a spot in the ACC Tournament? It's been a historically great year for the conference.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of really good teams in the ACC this year. It's a really big deal to us, especially to where we started for ACC play and being able to clinch a spot into the ACC Tournament. And like our coach always says, once playoff time begins, all the chips are off the table. It's just you and that one team, mano a mano. So it's a big step for this team in the direction that we want to go.
Do you almost feel like this weekend actually began postseason play?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say postseason play probably started 2 weeks ago for us. I know like 2 weeks ago, Coach Lee was like, every game for us is a playoff game. So you can't be looking ahead at the Saturday or Sunday game. It's all about the Friday game and just taking care of business that Friday. So we've kind of had that playoff game mentality for a couple of weeks now, and it's the same thing tomorrow.
Max, for you, everything that's going on, like, do you take a second to think about the kind of year you're having and where you're at right now in Clemson lore as you go into tomorrow's game?
I mean, not really. I just try to play, just try to compete, and again, every game is a playoff game. I mean, it's really whatever we've done the past 55 or so games, it's over. I just care about what's going to happen tomorrow. I'm just focused and determined to get my pre-game work in, BP, ground ball, stuff like that, just getting ready for that. And then obviously when game comes, just being ready for every pitch and just letting my game play just take care of itself.
I mean, you just passed Baker and Johnson on the home run list, and you're one from tying Bill Green. Those are obviously huge names here at Clemson. What's that like for you? You know, did you ever imagine you'd be on that kind of list with those kind of players?
No, but I mean, it's just the hard work I've been able to put in pretty much ever since I got here my freshman year. All the experience I've been able to take my freshman year has really helped me get to this point. And again, I'm just still trying to keep working, trying to get better, and just trying to get this team in the right direction.
Did that one feel like you got all of it?
I mean, I know I hit it well, but it's just I've been trying to work on my swing, just trying to get my momentum going forward, and I was able to do that today opposed to yesterday where I didn't feel like I was doing that quite as much as I wanted to, but I was definitely barreling up the ball like I wanted to today.
You're one behind Texas's Ivan Melendez for the national home run lead. Do you even keep half an eye on what he's doing? Is that are people in your ear about that? How do you put that out of your mind?
Yeah, I mean, I see the lists pretty much every week, but I mean, I really don't care. It's just I'm just trying to get the team in the right direction, just do my part, try to put good at-bats together, and good defense. And I know pitching will do their job to help us and, put our offense in the right situation, and that's pretty much all I'm really thinking about.
When you were coming up before you got here and all the showcases you played, did you ever cross paths with him just because of the national profile you guys would have had?
No, not at all. I've never talked to him, never been to a showcase with him or anything like that.
Jeffrey, for you, when did Coach approach you about becoming a starter? What was that conversation like for you?
Yeah, he really never approached me, to be honest with you. They told me basically, I think it was probably 4 weeks ago, the position that we were in after that game, I think it was game 1. I really, to be honest with you, can't remember if we won or lost, but after that game, he basically said, hey, you didn't throw tonight, we're going to throw you tomorrow. I said, okay. We went down to work. So at the end of the day, I don't really think the whole approachment matters. He gave me an opportunity, and I knew it was a needed opportunity for us to win baseball games to get into the postseason. And so at the end of the day, all I was focused on was trying to get us into the postseason and win the baseball games at that point.
How big was that for you, for them to come to you and say, hey, we're going to throw you tomorrow, and if this works, you're going to stay in this role? What did that mean to you to be in that position?
Yeah, I really didn't know if I was going to stay in the role, to be honest with you. But I've thrown a lot of big innings in a lot of big situations here. So that pressure was never there. I just rode with the pressure of, I didn't know if I was going to be out there 1 or 2 innings. But if I was out there for 2 innings, I was going to throw up zeros for 2 innings. If I was out there for 3, and we just kept rolling with it. So at the end of the day, the pressure's never really gotten to me because I've been in those big situations since I've been a freshman here. It's just been rolling with the punches and kind of learning routine and stuff like that week by week has been the biggest adjustment since I've been a starter.
Jeffrey, freshman Reed Garris behind the plate today, his first start. I'm guessing he catches you a lot in the bullpen and so forth. But what's your chemistry with him like, and how is he at framing your pitches and that sort of thing?
Yeah, Reed did an excellent job. Just a little backstory: Reed pretty much caught me since I was a senior in high school, going back down to Charleston, working out freshman and sophomore year. He caught all my off-season bullpens and stuff. So I've known Reed since I was probably 10, 11 years old. So it was really cool for us to be out there today, in all realness. It gives me goosebumps talking about it because that's what you dream of when you come to school like this. And him obviously being the third-string catcher now and getting a shot to be out there today and him catching me, it was awesome. We just smiled at each other and we were having fun out there. It just kind of reminded us of youth baseball. So he did an excellent job, though. He's, I think, just as good, and this is not a knock on John or Cooper, but I think he's just as good defensively as John and Cooper. There's no fall off there. So he did an excellent job, and I think for however long he's out there for the remainder of the season, he'll continue to be an excellent job and be a good catcher.
Max, you may be able to answer this more from the position player mindset, but can you appreciate that, yesterday begins, Reed is just kind of in sub-catcher mode. No one could have seen that happening, and now he's the guy. I mean, can you imagine, why don't you go first and then you, Jeff, but can you imagine just your world changing 180 degrees in that time?
Yeah, I feel like everybody has gone through it where you're sitting on the bench and all of a sudden guy goes down or he's not being as productive as coaches want him, so they call your name and you got to be ready. That's why in the fall we go through all the practices, the Tiger BPs, inter squads, all that stuff that's really taxing, especially for incoming freshmen where they're probably not used to that kind of stuff. But I just feel like, especially Reed, with how determined he is, he's been ready for his opportunity. He catches almost everybody's bullpens. He's always there for everybody, but especially pitchers. I know that. He'll text in our group chat like, hey, if anybody wants me to catch them today, like, I'm there for you, whatever. So he's definitely got the reps, and he definitely deserves this opportunity that he's got.
The fact that again, the game's already begun and he gets put in there, did he come over to you and say anything? Because you probably would have just been in the dugout yesterday, I'm talking about, to say like, oh my God, look what's happening. Was there any kind of conversation?
Yeah, he looked me dead in the eyes and said, well, here we go. So I knew he was ready for it. He's one of those dudes that he works his tail off. He's always prepared for whatever outcome. And so he was just like, well, here we go. I mean, I think last week in one day he caught 5 bullpens. So, I mean, that tells you the work that he puts in. He's probably one of the most selfless guys on our team, but also one of the hardest workers. So, for him, he was ready, and I knew it. So.
Anything else?